Carol Thomas, née McCune, born 5 June 1955, is an English former footballer and was the second captain of England, taking over from Sheila Parker in 1976. She is the most successful captain of the England women's national team in terms of tournament successes and recognised as one of the genuine but unsung pioneers of the modern women's game. Thomas became captain at the age of 21 and held that position until her retirement with a then record 56 caps in 1985. She remained the longest continuous serving captain for a period of 26 years before being overtaken by Faye White in 2011. Thomas was a sturdy right-sided defender who refused offers of professionalism from Italy and New Zealand in order to maintain the strict amateur status which was enforced by the Women's Football Association at that time. She was a leading women's footballing figure in the north of England and in particular her home area of Yorkshire, appearing in and on local and national media and, when on tours, the foreign media. Club career. Thomas's first competitive game was at the age of 11 in September 1966. Having been inspired by the World Cup success of that year for BOCM ladies as a traditional right winger, she was also encouraged by watching her father Percy, who had been a keen amateur footballer and a founder member of a local team called Ayr Street United. Her talents were quickly recognised and she was snapped up by Reckitt's ladies, then under the tutelage of Flo Bilton. A move to local rivals Hull Brewery ladies followed, gaining recognition with a Hull and district representative team, the North of England squad and an eventual England call-up. At club level she made occasional guest appearances for Tottenham Hotspur ladies, and for a season played for Preston Rangers, Lancashire. Several seasons at CP Doncaster ladies followed before finishing her England representative career with Rowntree's ladies. International career. Thomas was first called up to the England squad by England manager Tommy Tranter in November 1974 for a 2-0 win over France at Plough Lane. She made 2 substitute appearances before becoming the first-choice right-back. Thomas retained her place under Tranter's successor Martin Regan and, aside from one game, became an ever-present until September 1985. On 31 October 1978, Thomas became the first captain to lead out an England side to play on a Football League First Division ground at the Dell, home of Southampton FC, in front of a then-record crowd of 5,471. England beat Belgium 3-0 with Thomas providing the cross for Elaine Badrock to open the scoring for the home nation. In 1981 she became the first captain to lead an England team outside of Europe, when they took part in that year's Mundialito tournament in Japan. Altogether, she led England in 7 consecutive tournaments, playing all 29 games, winning 20 and only losing 5, 2 of which were on penalty shootouts, and conceding less than a goal a game on average. During that period she led the England team to 2 tournament victories in the 1976 Pony Home Championship and the 1985 Mundialito and to a runners-up position in the 1984 UEFA Women's Championship. International tournaments. Asterisk played in the first 3 winning group games before retiring. Her commitment and dedication to her England captaincy ensured that following her marriage to husband Alan in July 1979, 2 days later she flew out to Italy with the rest of the England squad to take part in that year's unofficial European Cup. In total, Thomas won 56 caps in an 11-year England career, 51 as captain. In March 1985 England beat Scotland 4-0 at Deepdale in Preston, Lancashire, and Thomas was presented with her 50th cap by Tom Finney after the game. Later in 1985, following the success of that year's Mundialito and having successfully led her England team to 3 straight victories in the 1984-87 UEFA Cup, at the age of 30, Thomas retired from the international scene and football to have her first child. Sue Law took over as England's right-back while Debbie Bampton inherited the captaincy. International record, recognition and achievements. In 1974 she was invited to the first all-women coaching course held at the then National Footballing Centre, Lilleshall. Thomas, along with Jane Talbot and Pauline Dickey, gained her FA preliminary badge, becoming one of only 3 who passed the course, thereby becoming the first qualified women coaches in England. Her performances on the course resulted in her call-up to the England squad that November when she made her first international appearance. By the late 1970s her achievements were being acknowledged outside the game. In 1978 and 1979 she was invited by the BBC to star in the popular sports show Superstars, to promote the women's game. As an ambassador for the women's game, in 1983 she received the Vaux Brewery's North Sportswoman of the Year Silver Star Award. In 1984 she became the first woman player to be interviewed on national breakfast television, appearing opposite Frank Bow and Selena Scott following the defeat against Sweden in the 1984 European Championship final. In 1985 she was awarded the Sports Council Sports Award. Post-retirement. In 1986, she became the first woman footballer to have an entry in the Guinness Book of Records, having become the first Englishwoman to gain 50 caps, with entries to follow in subsequent years. Return to grassroots football. In 1993, after the birth of her second child, Thomas came out of retirement to help establish local club AFC Preston with playing and coaching. She also set up a soccer club, which still runs to this day, for youngsters aged 5 to 10 years from her village and the surrounding rural area. She also helped her husband coach their sons from the under-7 age group to under-18 level. When the East Riding County FA created its first women's representative team in 1995, Thomas was asked to work with the coaching staff and captain the side. She remained playing at this level until 2002. In 2004, she made her final move to Bransburton Ladies' retirement. In 2009, after 43 years in football, Thomas retired. She now spreads her time between her family, which includes 2 footballing grandsons, and long-distance trekking, a keen walker. By 2015 she had completed all 214 Wainwright's undertaken the National Three Peaks Challenge in 24 hours and completed the Coast to Coast Walk. She has trekked at high altitude, including the Andes, Himalaya and Atlas Mountains, having already climbed several mountains and traversed numerous high passes in Nepal, Peru, Morocco and India, many at heights in excess of 18,000 feet.